Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard the Fishing Machine here. I am drinking as much of this good Joe as I possibly can. I don't know what I'd do without it. If I didn't have this to wake me up in the morning, I'd be in bad shape. Got to have Joe. Now, currently it's about 43 degrees. It's a little bit nippy. It's not too cold. We're going to go to the dam and fish in a way that I love. It's a relaxing way to fish, and sometimes you can catch some good fish and a wide variety of fish. We're going to fish with live minnows. They're going to range anywhere from 3 to 4.5 inches long. We're going to fish straight down. No telling what we'll catch. No telling what type of species we'll catch. Love to do it. Just another way, another technique to put fish in a boat. Whoa! Alright, let's take a walk out here and see how our minnows are doing. Now, I've had an aerator right here on them all night. It's I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's an aquaculture. I've had this aerator for years. I mean years. I believe I gave $55 for it years ago. But let's see how our minnows are doing. I got them in a Yeti cooler. I don't drink beer. I've had comments about this cooler, but we built a house a few years ago, and this was a bonus. It was a Yeti cooler. Let's see if these minnows are still alive. Right here. Yep. Now I've got really too many of these in here, folks. I've got about 5 dozen. But as cold as it is, these type of minnows, they live for a long time. And what they are creek minnows. Now, here in the state of Alabama, you can use these if you have a feeder creek, which is where I caught these out of, that goes into the Tennessee River, and you catch them out of there, which they're native species, you can use them. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all a bumper that I come up with. It's to keep from scratching this gunnel up. I had a lot of questions a couple years ago about it, how I built them, so we'll just go ahead and do that right now. It's very important. It's a must, or it is for me to have these. Okay, y'all have seen these before right here. Well, the pair that I built a few years ago finally wore out. A hole developed in each one of them. They wouldn't hold air. I put about 1.5 pounds of air in them, and there, see that little hole there? That's where you pump you some air into it. But these are Ozark Trail type right here, and they have about a 3/4 of an inch diameter hole. So what I'm using right here is 1/2 inch hot water pipe, and I believe there's about 10 elbows that it takes per one of these to put it together. 1/2 inch hot water pipe. And I have it rigged up, excuse me. Okay, we're back now. To fit over my gunnel. So we'll just go ahead and put one in place. You can see right here, you can see right there, I have it configured to where I can just snap these on. So there's one. And when I get tied up against that wall, we're going to be tied up against the wall, I'll slide it up there like that. And then we have one for right here. Same thing. And I usually will shove that against that console right there. Like that. That's a big deal. That'll keep from tearing your gunnel up. Clarence is going bald-headed. Alright, folks, we're tied up right here. This is a barge cleat. And there's my bumpers. Y'all can see how important. This water right here is turbulent. And because of that, I'm using, well, first off, this is a 3/8 egg weight barrel swivel, and I'm going to start off with a size 4 eagle claw hook right here, bait holder hook. I'm using 8-pound test fluorocarbon line, and on this particular reel, which I got a pair of Zebco Cardinal 4s I'm going to use, this reel right here has 6-pound test P line on it, which is a strong line, and a Shimano Celis. And I got a sow belly rod right here that's 6.5 foot long. By the way, this rod right here is 6'8". This one's 6'6". Light action, 8-pound test, high impact strand in the same leader, except for this leader is a little bit longer. Same setup. So let's get us one of these minnows and let's put it down. Now I'm going to try to use 2 rods if I can. It depends on what's in here. I don't have any idea what in the world's in here. Okay, let's get us a minnow out right here. I'm going to just open his mouth and hook him right through the nostril like that. They'll live longer like that, folks. Let's put it down. See if this weight is going to hold it. I may have to go to a bigger weight. Okay, it's going to hold it fine. There's a fish. There we go. Now that fish, I don't know what we got right here. He just laid on the bottom with that bait. He didn't move a muscle, folks. This could be a Sauger. They'll bite like that sometimes. Yep, that's what we got. Look here. Now it's a walleye. Let's net this fish. I'm going to tell you, if he's 15 inches, we're going to keep him. He's 15 and 5/8. So I'm going to put him in my bucket right here. I brought me a bucket in case I'd catch a walleye or a sauger. They're delicious eating fish. Now these are good little hooks right here. This is an eagle claw bait holder hook. And you can buy 50 for like $5 and something, I believe, or it might be $4 and something. Size 4 is what I'm using. I could use a size 2 right here, but really, being that the water's low and the bite's pretty slow, I want that minnow to be able to move as much as possible. And trilene knots or Palomar knots is my favorite. Those of y'all who watches the channel knows that. They're strong knots. They're hard to beat. Even though it's a live bait, folks. And right now I got the weight on the bottom. Every once in a while I'll pick it up a few feet and then let it drop. That'll get their attention. If there's a fish around moving through, that'll get his attention. He'll just reach out and grab it. Now in this current right here, even though the water temperature, the surface temperature is at 53 right now, that don't really make any difference. In current like this, even in cold water, I've found that fish, when they hit a bait, they'll usually hit it hard and quick. Now that spotty bass that I caught, he just hit it real light and started swimming that way up the current. But usually it's not that way. They'll just eat it. I mean, slam it, knock the fire out of it. Let's see what's going on right here. See if that fish is there. Yeah, he's there. Let's go ahead and stick him. Now that one's pulling pretty good right here. That one's putting a little bit of pull in there on it. Golly, we got a good one right here. That's a big Sauger. Let's just flip him in here. I should have netted him, but that's going to be a keeper, I believe. I'm pretty sure of it. That's a 15-inch fish, I believe. We're going to check him. Now, that's a good hook set right there, right in the center of his snoot. Actually, he's the same exact length as that walleye. He's 15.5 inches, so that's a keeper. That's a keeping fish right there. Okay, let's put him in the bucket. Let's give this walleye some company right here. He was lonely in that bucket by himself. Whoa. Let's hook another one right here. I'm just going to open his mouth, like I said. That's how I do it. And go through his nostril. That way he can move his mouth. You know, I pin some of them. That means going through both lips. But usually, the way I do it is just go through one lip and out the nostril. And the reason for that is they can move their mouth, draw that water through their mouth and through their gills. They just live a lot longer like that. I fish golden shiners the same way. And shad, sometimes I'll fish shad the same way. It just depends on how quick the fish are biting. If they're biting real quick and aggressive, I'll just go through both lips. I mean, but if they're slow like this, I definitely want to go through one, through his mouth and up his nostril. It makes a big difference, folks. Hey, I'm going to the house. I'm hot. That woman's mean to me. I'm gonna go outside and work in my shed. There's a fish, folks. There he is. Oh, me. This one's fighting too. See what we got right here. Oh my goodness. What a bass. You're kidding me. That's a largemouth too, I believe. Come back here, boy. We ain't gonna keep him. Look here. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute, folks. This ain't no largemouth. That's a doggone smallmouth fish. Boy, them's good eating too in the wintertime. Or is it a spot? I don't know. We're gonna figure it out right here in a minute. He's dark. No, that's a smallmouth. Sure is. What about that? That's a pretty fish right there. Ain't that big. Probably around 3 pounds, maybe. Beautiful, big, broad tail. Powerful fish. Let's let him go, folks. I don't want to eat him. Now, they are delicious eating, as a lot of y'all know, but I'm mounting up some Sauger walleye. I really don't want to kill that fish. I love smallmouth. Well, I'm going to try that again, folks. Now, if you notice, I'm using big minnows. Them ain't little. I've caught a Sauger and a walleye throwing right there. Throwing slack in my line and then letting it hit the bottom. That 5/16 barely stays on the bottom, but it stays on the bottom. Throwing it out like that. And this one right here, you know, I have a 3/8, I believe. And it's holding it real good straight down. So I'm really fishing two different ways right here. These fish is slow about biting, or the Sauger are. And fishing's all about patience. I tell you, some of the best fishing I've ever done has always been when it was tough conditions. And anytime a river is low, or I'm going to talk about the Tennessee River in specific, when it's low like this, fish are difficult to catch oftentimes. Sometimes you can find a big concentration. It can work the other way too. you can find a big concentration of fish, but these are biting real slow. But like I said, when I get a bite, it's a darn good one. So it makes it worth it. He's there, barely moving. Let's see what we got. Y'all ready? There he is. There him is. He's cutting the rug, whatever he is. I mean, he's fighting. Golly, looky here, what a sauger. My goodness. That is a big son of a gun, folks. Come on in here. That makes my limit right there. That's a beautiful fish, folks. Look here at this dorsal fin. When you open it up, beautiful fish. But don't stick your finger in his mouth. That's number 5. I've caught a limit. Whoa. All right, folks, let's take a look at these sauger right here. Look at there. Them are some big doggone sauger right there. And one walleye right here. But we got to get home and go ahead and clean them. They're in good shape. All right, folks, I'm going to give these fish away to these 2 gentlemen right here. What's y'all's names?
My name's Don, and his name's Don.
2 Dons in the boat. My. I'm going to give them 2 of them. Yeah.
That's my grandson.
Grandson. But
Like you all the time.
oh, man, I hope it's good stuff. There you go. It's heavy. You got he's stout, young man. He can handle it. You welcome. I want to say thank you to every one of y'all. Thank you for the great comments, everything y'all do, and God bless each and every one of y'all. Hey, man.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. Hey, I'm talking about whoa! And to remember, go fishing when you can, 'cause it's good.